Baseball has had a historic past and has changed the history of America. Alexander Cartwright is considered by many as the father of baseball and helped invent the modern day game that we all know today. Baseball had developed a lot from the game it was when Alexander Cartwright first invented it. Baseball has affected America and has given Americans a reason for happiness during our darkest times. The game of baseball has had a huge impact on the world from when it started to how it developed and how the game affects the world today. The origin of baseball is unknown to many, but many people believe that it originated from the English game of rounders. Many people believe that Abner Doubleday invented the game and was the real father of baseball, but the real one was Alexander Cartwright. He invented the game from the English game rounders. He made his own rules to differ from the English game. The main difference was the bat in rounders was swung with one hand and you didn't get 3 strikes in rounders. You swung the bat and then ran to first base whether you hit the ball or not. And if the defense got the ball to first base before you got there, you were out. SeanLahman.com states that Cartwright invented the game when he and his co-workers were done with their work at the local fire station. They would play on vacant lots in New York, such as 27th Street and 4th Avenue in New York City. Cartwright invented the first amateur baseball team called the Knickerbockers, and later invented the first league called the National Association of Baseball Players. Many people wanted baseball to remain an amateur game, but as the teams in the league started charging for admission to baseball games, the players wanted to get paid. The debate went on for many years of if the game should be turned into a professional sport. But when Harry and George Cartwright decided to make the world's first professional baseball team and the Cincinnati Red Stockings were formed, they recruited some of the greatest players from around the country. Many amateur teams couldn't compete with this professional team, so they started recruiting too and made more professional teams. The first professional baseball league was called the National Association, and it fielded 9 teams. The presence of gamblers and liquor soon drove the crowds away from the games, and the National Association quickly disbanded. The National League was formed in 1875. This league was ran by businessmen instead of players like the National Association was. Many leagues formed and tried to overtake the National League, but none could, and they quickly disbanded. In 1901, the American League was formed, and the National League owners tried to sue the American League owners for stealing their best players, but the court ruling stated that the 2 leagues had to coexist. The leagues agreed that the winners of the championships of each league would compete in a series that is now called the World Series, and thus the Major League Baseball League was formed. Baseball gave people a chance to recapture the American spirit after World War I had ended in 1919, according to Livestrong.com. Babe Ruth kept American spirits high during the Great Depression when he set the career record for most home runs, and he gave Americans a chance to be happy during the Depression. In 1947, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier of baseball and set in motion the desegregation of America. Baseball has had the greatest impact on America and has been a constant source of happiness for Americans even when we are at our lowest point in history, and is the most impactful of any of the major sports in America. In conclusion, baseball has had a historic past and has impacted America greatly.